For centuries, the Great Sphinx of Giza has guarded the secrets of the pharaohs, its enigmatic smile a silent challenge to explorers and historians alike. We've all seen it in pictures, movies, and maybe even in person, standing sentinel before the pyramids. We thought we knew its story, or at least most of it. But what if I told you that the greatest secret of the Sphinx wasn't on its surface, but hidden deep beneath its paws? Get ready, because we're about to dive into a discovery that has left scientists absolutely baffled. A hidden chamber, a mysterious void, lurking right under the most famous statue in the world. This isn't just a wild theory from a dusty old book. This is real, modern science, peeling back layers of history that are thousands of years old. Using cutting-edge technology, researchers have detected something that shouldn't be there, something that ancient texts have only hinted at. For years, whispers of a hall of records, a mythical library containing the lost knowledge of an ancient civilization, perhaps even Atlantis, have swirled around the Sphinx. Most mainstream Egyptologists dismissed these tales as pure fantasy, but now they're faced with hard data that points to a hidden cavity, an anomaly right where these legends said it would be. Is this the discovery that rewrites history as we know it? To understand the magnitude of this, we need to travel back in time, not just to the age of the pharaohs, but to the very beginning of our quest to understand the Sphinx. For a long time, the Sphinx was buried up to its neck in sand. It was only in the last 2 centuries that systematic excavations began to reveal its true scale and majesty. Early explorers like Giovanni Caviglia in the 19th century cleared the sand and found chapels and stelae between its pores, including the famous Dream Stele. This stele tells the story of a young prince, Thutmose IV, who fell asleep in the shadow of the Sphinx and was promised the throne if he would clear away the sand engulfing the monument. He did, and he became pharaoh. This story alone shows the spiritual importance of the Sphinx, but it also hinted that the monument was more than just a statue. It was a sacred site with a deeper purpose. The first real hints of something underneath the Sphinx came from a psychic, of all people. In the 1930s and 40s, a man named Edgar Cayce, known as the Sleeping Prophet, claimed in his trances that a haul of records from the lost civilization of Atlantis was hidden beneath the Sphinx's right paw. He predicted it would be discovered around the end of the 20th century. Now, you can be skeptical, and many scientists were, but this idea planted a seed that refused to die. It fueled decades of fringe theories and passionate debate. Was Cayce just a good guesser, or was he tapping into something real? The scientific community needed more than psychic predictions. They needed proof. And in the late 20th century, they got the tools to look for it. A team led by geologist Dr. Robert Schoch shocked the world by suggesting the Sphinx was far older than previously believed. He pointed to water erosion patterns on the Sphinx and the walls of its enclosure, arguing that such erosion could only have been caused by heavy rainfall, the kind Egypt hasn't seen for thousands of years, long before the pharaohs were supposed to have built it. This theory placed the Sphinx's origins back in a much more ancient, mysterious period of history. If the Sphinx was older, who built it? And what else might be hidden from that forgotten era? This brings us to the modern-day treasure hunters, but their tools aren't shovels and picks. They're ground-penetrating radar, seismic tomography, and electrical resistivity surveys. Think of it like giving the Giza Plateau a full-body CT scan. In the 1990s, a team led by John Anthony West, a proponent of Schoch's older Sphinx theory, conducted seismic surveys around the monument. They found low-velocity zones beneath the paws, anomalies that suggested cavities or chambers. Their findings were tantalizing but ultimately inconclusive, and the Egyptian authorities were very protective of the site, limiting further exploration. The mystery was put on ice, but it was far from solved. And now, the story takes an incredible turn. Recently, a new wave of research using even more advanced scanning technology has revisited these old questions. A joint team of international scientists, using a technique called muon tomography, the same technology used to discover a hidden void in the Great Pyramid, has been scanning the area around the Sphinx. Muons are subatomic particles that rain down from space and can pass through solid objects. By measuring how many muons pass through a structure, scientists can detect differences in density. If there's an empty space, more muons will get through, and their preliminary results are what have everyone talking. They detected a significant void, a chamber, not just a small crack or a natural fissure, but a man-made looking cavity, several meters across, located deep in the bedrock beneath the monument. It's a precisely defined space that simply doesn't fit with the natural geology of the area. This isn't a theory anymore. It's a data point. There is something down there. The scientists on the project are being very cautious, as they should be. They're not shouting Hall of Records from the rooftops. They're talking about anomalies and voids and the need for more research. But the implications are staggering. So, what could it be? Let's explore the possibilities, from the most conventional to the most mind-blowing. The conservative explanation is that it could be an undiscovered tomb. Perhaps a noble or even a pharaoh from an earlier dynasty chose this sacred spot for their eternal rest. It could also be a natural cave that the ancient Egyptians knew about and perhaps used for rituals, but didn't create themselves. Or maybe it's simply a construction shaft, a leftover from the original quarrying and building of the Sphinx that was later sealed up and forgotten. But let's be honest, those aren't the theories that get your heart racing. The more exciting possibility is that this chamber is exactly what the legends have been saying it is all along. Could this be the entrance to the mythical Hall of Records? A library of knowledge from a prehistoric civilization, preserved on indestructible scrolls or tablets, waiting to be rediscovered. Imagine what we could learn. The true history of humanity, advanced technologies we've yet to invent, answers to the greatest philosophical questions. It's the ultimate archaeological prize. The discovery also reignites the debate about the Sphinx's true age. If this chamber is connected to the original construction, and that construction is pre-dynastic, it means there was a sophisticated civilization in Egypt thousands of years before the pharaohs. A civilization that had the knowledge and skill to carve the world's largest monolithic statue and potentially to create a subterranean library to safeguard its wisdom. This would completely upend our understanding of the ancient world. Of course, the big question now is, what happens next? The discovery of a void is one thing. Getting inside it is another. The Egyptian government has always been extremely cautious about any invasive procedures at their most precious monuments, and for good reason. You can't just start drilling holes into the Sphinx. The next step will likely involve even more precise, non-invasive scanning to map the chamber's exact size, shape, and potential access points. Perhaps they can find an existing entrance, long sealed and hidden, or use micro-robotics to explore it through a tiny borehole. This is a pivotal moment in history. We are standing on the brink of a discovery that could redefine our past and, in doing so, change our future. For now, the Sphinx holds its secret tight. The data is in, the anomaly has been found, and the scientists are baffled. The rest of us can only watch, wait, and wonder. What lies sleeping beneath the paws of the silent guardian of Giza? The answer is coming, and it's going to be spectacular. Thanks for joining me on this incredible journey into the mysteries of the Sphinx. What do you think is hidden in this secret chamber? Let me know your theories in the comments below. And if you love exploring the world's greatest secrets, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next adventure. We'll see you next time.